Key question here, how marketers can optimize their dollars per minute. And that is why we are talking with Carolyn right now. Carolyn, thank you so much for the time. You gave a presentation earlier today about this topic. So fill people in on what this is all about, and I know this ties to your passion.
So sales is everything, right? I mean, the whole point of marketing is to generate sales, and we actually talked about the difference between sales and marketing. How I define it, the simple definition, is sales is the transaction that culminates in the exchange of money for goods or services, right? The sale actually happens when you give me money and I give you something in return. But marketing is defined as the act of creating awareness and demand for a product or service that fulfills a need for your buyer. So many marketing people I found when I did my research for coming here to speak to you guys are siloed away from the salespeople. And if you're not having a conversation with your salespeople, how do you know what the objections are? And how can you create marketing campaigns that go to exactly what the pain is that your product, good, or service solves?
No, I love that. I think it's a challenge that we've been faced even in the organization that I work for, and that's part of the reason why we do things like have employee advocacy programs and things where they have some say and buy into what they're putting out there, but we also make sure that we're providing them with that content. So that's fantastic. So how did the audience react? What kind of questions did they have for you? What were some of the takeaways from their point of view?
I think the takeaways were one of the key things I teach when I teach sales. So it's funny, this marketing audience was new to me. I really speak to leaders and sales team leaders whose people's dollars per minute affect the bottom line. So what they really took away is one of the pieces of my sales training is if you can't rattle off the top of your head what are 20 things that your good or service or your client's good or service provides for your customers, go back and study that. It's like at least 20 so that when you're in the middle of a pitch, you don't have to be thinking about what it is that you're telling your client. You already know it. Right? You want to go into the marketing knowing what the problem is that you solved and knowing what the objections are going to be before you walk in. I mean, and then knowing 20 things that they do that they forget that they do. Because so much of marketing is just reminding people of what it is that they need.
Absolutely. And this is a good transition into a little bit more about the work that you do. And I know this is part of the work that you do every day. So talk about that. What's your business? Where can they go to learn more? And what can they expect when they learn more?
Well, my website is carolynstrauss.com. It's just me. My email is Carolyn@carolynstrauss.com. And
great brand.
Thank you. Thanks. And really, the trademark is the dollars per minute, right? So if you want to maximize your employees' time and their attention, and you want to figure out how to metric it, this was so interesting because studying marketing over the past couple of months and interviewing people and talking to them, I realized that some marketers are directly tied to the bottom line and dollars per minute. And some, it's kind of like, I know that the salespeople have metrics that they need to meet.
Right.
Some salespeople don't. So how do you demonstrate your value to your company and your clients, right? To get paid what you're worth. And then how are you worth as much or more as your sales department? Or not. I mean, it's really looking at the whole picture. I mean, combining the product development team with the marketing team, with the sales team, that's a picture that your clients can buy.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful. So finally, I would say the only other thing is really just learning about why it matters to you to partner with MIMA and come here and speak today. What does MIMA mean to you?
I think anytime a group of people who sit behind their computers most of the day can connect person to person with people in your industry. I mean, the people here, if you're a marketer, the people here know what you do. They understand what you do. It's hard when you get home at the end of the day and the people you live with say, so what did you do today? And you're like, I worked. And but the people here really understand. And the other thing that's so important is anytime you send something out on social media or do marketing, remember that you're not selling to another computer. There is a biological, linguistic, transactional human on the other side of that computer. And if you can get to their biology and connect with them linguistically, they'll want to transact with you.
Carolyn, thank you so much for sharing your passion with us and with the world, and also for ending today for us on these live streams on a high note, because this is going to be our last live stream here at MIMA. So, Carolyn, thank you again so much.
Thanks, Ryan.
Appreciate your time.
And I think it's funny you say I ended on a high note because I do live in Colorado. Just a side note.
Mile
Anyway,
high.
yeah.
All right, thank you, everyone. Bye.